A logo appears over a blue sky. Technology for home. Cursive letters write out a title, Dreams Realized. Under the open sky, 3 cars sit parked in the driveway of a 2-story home.
There are many Minnesotans with disabilities that want to stay home or move home. And with the right assistive technology, they can.
A teen girl in a wheelchair interacts with a mounted screen using her eyes to control a speech-generating device. A grinning girl with glasses moves her face to trigger a switch mounted on her wheelchair's headrest. A middle-aged woman using a wheelchair pets the muzzle of a horse.
Technology for Home is a program of the Minnesota Department of Human Services, Disability Services Division, and Live Life Therapy Solutions that brings together teams of advanced practice professionals across disciplines.
Logos appear next to a home wheelchair lift and interviewing professionals, Minnesota Department of Human Services, Live Life Therapy Solutions, and Technology for Home.
They bring person-centered, at-home assistive technology assessment and training to Minnesotans of all ages who want to stay at home or move home.
Now, a map of Minnesota appears. Over it, video clips feature people using assistive technology.
This team approach has helped more than 1,000 Minnesotans define success when they achieved their goals that were unmet in the typical assistive technology system. Now they can reach for their dreams to stay home or move home with the right supports at the right time. About half of the people using technology for home are children, and here are a few of their stories.
3 photos show Emily in Grand Rapids, Stacy in Brainerd, and Rachel in Wabasha. A title screen reads, Emily's Story. Megan Garrick, Emily's mother.
Emily is a beautiful 16-year-old girl. She's in the high school. She is in 10th grade.
A photo shows Emily smiling in a tank top. Her PCA pushes Emily in her wheelchair down a hallway of Grand Rapids High School. Her assistive screen shows 2 boxes, one with a picture of a runner and the word faster, and another with a turtle and the word slower.
Before Technology for Home, there was no communication with Emily. As a mother, it's very painful not being able to know what your child wants or needs, or it's just very painful not to ever hear I love you or goodbye or hello. Always been told that Emily would never be able to communicate. She was at her baseline. She was not going to make any more progress. All the speech therapists have always shot my ideas down when I come back from an assistive technology conference, all excited, go into the school, talk to the therapists, and they've always said no. It's not going to happen. She won't be able to use this technology.
Lisa Bolton, Itasca County, Emily's social worker.
When I learned about the Technology for Home program, I started thinking about the people on my caseload and who might be able to benefit from it. And I did think of Emily and Megan right away. Megan is a good mom and a strong advocate for her daughter, and communication has been a struggle for her life. Just because Emily hasn't been able to, use words to communicate, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have the thoughts and feelings and emotions that she would like to share with her family. And not being an expert in assistive technology myself, it's hard to keep up on the advancements. The opportunity to bring a consultant into her home who does know what the current state of assistive technology is, to be able to work with her and see what her needs are and make recommendations, that I was hopeful for them that they would be able to make a connection and something might work out.
Images on Emily's assistive screen show a person using a wheelchair with the word walk and a boombox with the word music. Rachel Westby, Tech for Home Speech Language Pathologist, CCC.
The day that Emily was able to communicate, I was visiting her at school. I didn't know what I was going to expect. And quite frankly, neither did the staff or her mom. We're all holding out hope. We set up a communication device for her that uses her eyes to operate it.
In a classroom, Emily moves her head as she watches the screen. In a drawing program, different colors splatter across a white background.
And so it's a technology called eye gaze. And on the screen, there was a whiteboard, and on the bottom, all the colors. Very tiny colors to get to. And we hadn't calibrated her to the device, and that means the device wasn't really paired or hadn't learned enough about Emily's eyes for it to be perfect. Yet she was able to get every single one of those colors, and she was determined, and she did it. And so we're having natural conversation with her, and that was wonderful.
Corinne Mann, Grand Rapids High School, Emily's teacher.
I went into the room right at an amazing time. So they had put up a program, it was a paint program, and they told Emily to choose a color, and she chose it, and she colored with it. Everyone in the room was tearing up, goosebumps, because Emily, for the first time in her life, communicated. She was able to communicate in a way that wasn't crying, body language. She was communicating with her eyes. It was phenomenal. It was an absolutely amazing experience.
So after Emily showed us everything she could do, the fun didn't stop there. The teachers ran down the hall. They got her favorite things, they ran back, and we quickly took a picture of all of her favorite things and put them on the screen.
Emily's screen shows 2 boxes with text and images of toys. One says, use the pink toy, and the other says, play piano.
Then, using that same technology, she was able to choose her next activity with her eyes, and didn't do so just one time or in a sequential row of activities. She chose everything she wanted. It was her time, her desire, and it was communication. It was beautiful.
Megan Worms, Emily's PCA.
Emily is lucky to have people like Technology for Home that realize her need and do what they can to meet that need for her, to go above and beyond to get her this eye gaze computer so she can learn communication.
Emily's screen displays images labeled Turn It Up and Quiet. Emily waves her hands, wheelchair dancing.
As she gets older, people are telling us, well, this isn't a reality. You know, she's not going to communicate beyond this. And Technology for Home came in and said, we're going to make this happen. She can communicate. So Emily's a fighter, and she wants to tell you what's in there.
Emily selects different colors to draw on her screen. More images show a speaker and an icon playing saxophone with the words louder and different song. And Emily dances again.
I want to hear what Emily has to say. I would love to know her favorite color. I would love to know what music she likes to listen to. I want to know where she wants to go. Does she want to go to Disney World? Does she want to go to Europe? She's in a wheelchair, but I'll make it happen. If that girl wants to go to Europe, we're going to go to Europe. Like, we're going to do it.
Megan pushes Emily in her wheelchair down a hall. Emily's screen shows a running icon and a turtle, and she uses her glance to choose between them. Megan adjusts her pace in response.
Faster, faster, slower, slower.
We're going to keep working on it, and I just want to hear what Emily wants.
A title screen, Stacy's story. Robin Billman, Stacy's best friend.
My name is Robin, and Stacy is my very best friend. We have been friends for 11 years. When I first moved up here, we found out that we both have a passion for horses, and I invited her to come over to my farm.
Photos show Stacy riding a horse and barrel racing. More photos feature Robin with a horse in a barn, and both women riding and racing.
After a while, we started barrel racing together. We just had the best of times, became the best of friends. She's just a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Randy Nelson, Stacy's husband.
And then she woke up the one day and was having seizures, just out of the blue. She went to the Staples Hospital, and the doctor couldn't figure nothing out, so he sent her to St. Cloud. And the doctor there, he figured out what the problem was.
Photos show Stacy smiling and dancing at a wedding, then posing with her family in formal wear.
It's very, very rare. 90% of the people that get it don't live through it. But she's a strong person.
They then had to still do more surgery, and of course then her skull had to be removed for a period of time because there was such severe swelling in the brain.
More photos show Stacy in a hospital bed with a shaved head, wearing a medical helmet as she sits outside with friends and with her horses, then holding an infant on her lap.
But we then started to see her progress. She started to have movement again, and you could see that she was understanding again, and the light in her eye came back, and you could see Stacy coming back again.
Sitting on a couch alongside another woman, Stacy smiles, holding a to-go coffee cup.
She was in the nursing home for quite a while, and her wish was to come home, and with the assistance of technology for home, she was able to do that.
A logo for Technology for Home shows a house shaped like an electrical plug.
Technology for Home come out and assess the situation and figured out what we needed for the house to make it work with Stacy.
A tour of the home shows wide bathroom doors, a chair on wheels in a large shower, and a handrail beside a raised toilet.
We widened out a couple of doors, took the old tub out, put in a shower, a new shower that she could wheel her chair into, put a new toilet in that sets a little higher so it'd be a little easier for her.
Randy wheels Stacy outside where the home's deck is outfitted with a wheelchair lift.
She got the lift put in there, so that makes everything a whole lot easier. Me and the boys would carry her up and down the steps in the wheelchair till we got that done.
Now that Stacy's home, absolutely, the light is back in her eyes. She is surrounded by the people that love her and the things that she loves dearly. She can go out on the patio and see Jack every day.
Footage shows Stacy at the kitchen sink using her left hand to wash dishes, then talking with another woman. A John Wayne portrait hangs on a wall of the home above drawings of horses. In the yard, Stacy adjusts a horse's harness from her wheelchair. Later, she pets a dachshund on her lap, and two bigger dogs run in the yard.
She has Remy on her lap every moment, basically. Jill, her dog, and Oak, her dog, they are surrounded by her. She sleeps in the bed and basically right out by the front window so she can hear the birds and the trees, and she's home.
A decorative tile with a cross reads, Hope. Interview with Stacy, Melanie Fry, Minnesota DHS.
Stacy, I've asked people who love you what they hope for you. Since coming home, you traveled to see your daughter and grandchildren in Colorado. I asked Randy where he'd like to go next. He wants to go fishing in Canada. What do you think?
Stacy gestures to herself, smiling.
I want to.
In the yard, Stacy and Robin pet a horse.
Robin wants to get the horse trailer out and go camping in the West. Does that sound good?
Stacy puts her hand over her heart, grinning.
I know. Oh, I know. I know.
Stacy talks to a woman in her kitchen and with Robin outside. Then a selector box moves around a keyboard on a screen.
I don't care if it's speech. I don't care if it's sign language. I don't care if it's a speech-generating device. There's going to be a way for you to tell us everything that's happened. We'll figure it out, I promise, because one way or another, your journey isn't over.
I know. I know.
Stacy nods with a smile. A title screen, Rachel's story.
I'm Marcia Cockrell. I'm Rachel's mother. We live in Wabasha, Minnesota, along with her grandmother, her big brother, and her dad.
At home, Rachel sits suspended in her track system. Then, a sepia-toned photo shows Marcia with Rachel as a toddler.
The doctors told me that Rachel had cerebral palsy. We were going to do whatever it took to make sure Rachel met her full potential, regardless of what that was going to be. So I was more than happy to bring Rachel home. Then we were going to dress little dollies, and we were going to be a mother and a daughter playing with each other, and that was just fine with me.
Photos show Rachel as an infant in a pea pod costume, looking at a picture book, and in a swimming pool and a bath.
It didn't matter what anybody else thought or said. You know, I'm right here. I can do everything she needs. And then I realized I couldn't.
A portrait shows Rachel smiling with a tracheostomy tube and glasses. In another photo, Marcia holds her outdoors, the two of them wearing coordinating tiger t-shirts.
I couldn't do the things that she really needed me to do when she was at her worst state. If she was in pain, I didn't know. And even if I did see it on her face, I couldn't possibly know what was wrong. I could do what I thought was right, but when you're guessing 99% of the time, it's a scary place to be.
Lynn Sandstrom, Wabasha County Case Manager.
I wasn't sure what to expect when technology for home came into the home for Rachel.
At home, a nurse sits with Rachel as she moves her head to trigger a candy corn switch, a small triangular device attached to her chair. A red button sits at Rachel's elbow, and a mounted screen shows her images. One with up and down arrows says yes, while another with side-to-side arrows says no.
They were able to open doors that I had not seen open for individuals before. They had a wide gamut of technology and thoughts about what they could do to improve her health, to improve her communication, her interaction with other people that I didn't know was even possible. So I was really happy to learn that the scope of what I knew about the technology services was quite small compared to what's really out there.
When technology for home came in, they brought in a new candy corn switch, one that I'd never saw before. And it was going to give Rachel all these choices.
On Rachel's chair, the candy corn switch is attached to one arm of her headrest. When she touches it with her cheek, it lights up. With Marcia, she looks at options on her screen.
And I didn't have to guess anymore. She could truly tell me, I want this or I don't want this. And one of the most beautiful things that she ever done when she really started using this communication device was I had always wanted to hear Mama. I'd always wanted her to just say Mama, anything. I didn't care. I just wanted to hear Mama come out of my little girl. And on her device, there's one section that's called My Family. She went into that the first time, and I was sitting there on the couch.
Rachel moves her head to trigger the candy corn switch, and an icon on her screen enlarges as she selects it.
And there's a picture of me, and she hit it, and it says Mama. And then she switched over to the next one, Want, and she chose Sing. And then it did it all together. Mom, I want to sing. And I'm like, we'll sing anything you want from now till the sun goes down. So this candy corn switch that they've come out with, Rachel's face has to not even touch it. It goes in the direction of it, and it actually has a sound. So Rachel knows she has made contact with the switch, and now she's looking, okay, it's got to do what I want it to do now. And if it doesn't do what she wants it to do, you know it.
Rachel hits the switch and smiles. Melissa Prince, licensed practical nurse.
On the device, she's telling us that if she has pain, she's telling us she wants bubbles.
At home, Melissa holds a bubble machine. Rachel grins at the floating bubbles.
If she wants bubbles, she can also tell us, I want lots of bubbles, I want big bubbles. She can pretty much tell us almost anything on there. She can tell me if she wants to be in her track system, if she wants to be in her wheelchair, if she wants to play on the floor. There's many, many, many programs in there that she can use.
So we're actually trying to catch up with her.
A school photo shows Rachel smiling for the camera.
So she's been going into these classrooms, and there's no telling what all she has picked up in these classrooms just being there. that we have no idea. Just right before school was out, her teacher did not think that Rachel knew colors. And we're trying to tell her, yes, Rachel knows colors. She's like, no, Rachel don't know colors. And we look at Rachel and go, Rachel, would you please show her you know what you're doing?
A shot of Rachel's screen shows a tab for colors.
And on her device, she's got a yellow square and a red square. We say, all right, Rachel, we want the red one. Beep. 5 out of 5. And then she looks at her teacher and just laughs. Like, see, I knew this. We're gonna go as far as we can go. And as long as we have more technology that's coming out, that there's people that know where it is, know how to access it, know how to teach to us, we're going to the moon.
Marcia smiles and nods. A logo, Technology for Home. This video is dedicated to the memory of Marcia Cockrell, 1966 to 2016. More logos, Minnesota Department of Human Services and Live Life Therapy Solutions.